Hello everyone, welcome to the first tutorial after a long time. It's gonna be a production breakdown how I made my last single Wanted, and let's hop in. So I guess we are starting with listening to the song for a few seconds.
You don't have to pretend. I know it gets hard. Looking around, you start to think, maybe this isn't what I wanted.
I'm still in love with the vocals though.
But you have to keep going, keep moving on, and don't you ever look back. Maybe this isn't what I wanted.
So maybe we should start with the drums. Let's play them for a second. Let's play the drop. Some of you guys wrote me how I made this punchy kick, so I will show you how I did it. I always try to keep it simple with my kicks, cause I think you should have a good kick and not start tuning and doing stuff with it, because if you have a good kick, you have a good kick, and if you don't have a good kick, tuning or like put tons of stuff on it doesn't make it better, so I try to keep it simple. Let's listen to the kick without any effects. Sounds like this. Still a good kick though. Yeah, what I did, I started by putting a drum bass on it to make it more punchy and a bit louder. I really love drum bass, guys. You can put it on everything. It's really good. So then I started with the Decapitator drum fattener from Soundtoys. Always worth a try. Yeah, as you can see, not that much on the mix, just to give it more crush and give it more power. And then I added another drum bass to make it more punchy again. And that's basically it. I have some automations on the auto filters and on the EQ, but this just stops the low frequencies from playing, so I try to keep it simple with the kick. So let's go on with the rest of the drums. Let's play them for a second. As you can hear, there's a lot of going on. I really love to use loops on my drums. I often take them from Splice, but I have a very big library with stuff in it, so I just tried. Loop number 1 is a percussion loop, just with some EQ on it. 2 kickstarts, which doesn't even make any sense, but okay, away we go. And some auto filter, I guess, for breakdown automations. Number 2 is just a normal hi-hat with some EQing to kill the low frequencies, because a hi-hat doesn't need any frequencies, or like low frequencies. Then we have another percussion loop, a very driven one. Another hi-hat and a what's that, shaker? I guess it's called a shaker, maybe not. Next up, backup snare, which is very low on the volume. If you can see it here, minus 15.5 dB, because I like to have this one in the background. Also some EQ8 on it to put away the low frequencies. And one MIDI master trick is sidechain. I really love to put sidechain on a few drum channels, just to make space for the kick, because I think the kick is the most important thing in a track or in a house track, and every instrument should look after the kick and not be like over the kick or stuff like this. So I really like to take or keep space for the kick. So this is why I put Kickstart from Nicky Romero on almost every channel on the drums to make space for the kick. Then we have another hi-hat, which is an open one. Very simple, nothing more to add here. And some bongo. Every house track has a bongo. I guess every good house track needs a bongo. But just a loop, very simple. So let's continue with the delayed hi-hat, which is a bit dirty. I re-recorded it and put some chorus on it, and you can see like every time EQ8 to make space for the frequencies, which is super important. And then we have a very small triplet perk shot. One thing I like to add is you guys can now download all those drums I had in the song Wanted. I released my very first sound kit, and you can download it for free and get all the samples, all the loops, the Serum FXPs, some MIDI notes, some strings, and some extra special sounds. So if you want to, go onto my Instagram and download it. You can have it. I like to share stuff, so there's gonna be on every new release there's gonna be a new drum kit. And the last thing on the drum is this rim shot on reverb. Very simple. Re-recorded it, put some EQ on it, minus 23.66, minus 3.6 decibel. So very simple. Altogether it sounds like this. Yeah, there's a lot of going on, but as you can see here, I really like to keep the volume low. So with the drums, it's super important to check the levels of every channel, because then the flow comes. If everything is too loud, it doesn't work together, or it's like crashing each other. So you need to take care of your levels, which you can see here. Minus 18, minus 18, minus 13, minus 15 and stuff. That's one thing which really did improve my drums, or like my whole production game, when I started to take care of the volume and the levels. So you should do this too. Alright. Next one up is the string, which is very simple. I guess I use the same string on every track. Sounds like this. Some reverb on it. And some automation, which goes up. You can listen to it now. Very simple. And some filter for automation. Minus 35.6 on the volume. Also put it in the background, because the frequencies are very harsh. So you need to take a step back with the strings. Next one. And the one thing I started the whole song with was the wop, or joink, or however they call it, which is like super simple. Or maybe wop 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 wop. Yeah, you can hear my CPU crashing because my studio computer is super slow. So let's see the Serum template. You can also download this one. It's called the Wanted WAP. You can download it on my free drum kit and have the Serum data for free as well. So super simple here. Very short envelope with a super smooth attack, release and decay. Also very low. And then no more LFO or envelope 2 or envelope 3 automations. And yeah, a little bit on the hyper. Distortion is on 100%, drive is on 53. I guess the hyper isn't even working. As you can see, I forgot to put it off. So there's just this tube distortion on it. I really love the tube distortion. You can find it on every track or sound I made. So let's give it a try. And then we have 2 oscillators with the same waves. You can see it here, and some unison 6 voices. And yeah, it's not maximum detuned, but yeah, it's a wide detune. Levels are up 100%, and we have 1 envelope automation on the cutoff. On the filter, it's MG low 12. Cutoff is by 119 Hz, and the drive is on 21 to 65 to give it a nice push, as you can see here. And yeah, very simple sound. I really like this simple sound, or I really like Serum for making these sounds. It's a bit complicated if you start using Serum, but yeah, it's just a fun plugin. Really love it. It's on every song I made, and I use it almost every day. Or I guess I use it every day. Super nice. Next one, vocals. Let's listen to the vocals for 1 second.
You don't have to pretend. I know it gets hard.
For those who ask, of course, the vocal is from Splice, and the vocal was the reason because I wanted or didn't want to release the song because I didn't find a new vocal, and this song was yeah, sleeping on my hard drive for almost 6 months until I opened it again and was like, oh, okay, it's a nice one, you should really release it. Yeah, it's always a hassle for me to find vocals, especially from Splice, because the good ones you can yeah, listen to it on hundreds of tunes, so it's always yeah, a hard thing to find good vocals, which is not everybody using. As always, I try to put an EQ8 on it to cut the lows, because in my opinion, vocal on a track with a lot of bass doesn't work with a lot of lows, so I try to keep them away or keep them low. Then always in reverb, some delay, some erosion to make it more dirty, and yeah, knob 1 washed out to make it white. I guess in the pre-drop it's coming up somewhere, yes. And that's basically it for the 1 channel. I have one in the drop, they're almost the same. They have different reverb and delay levels. But yeah, on the group channel of the vocals, I have Little Altar Boy, Little Radiator, and Devil-Lock. On the group channel of the Vox, I have Little Altar Boy, Little Radiator, EQ8, and Devil-Lock. And on the EQ, I try to push the highs, because yeah, it makes it more bright. We can listen to the vocals without all those effects, and you can hear what they're making.
You don't have to pretend. I know it gets hard. Looking around, you start to think, maybe this isn't what I wanted.
Yeah, super nice. As you can hear, the Little Altar Boy and Radiator and Devil-Lock make it wider and more crispy, and it sounds more like a computer voice. It is original a human voice, but with all those plugins, it yeah, sounds more crispy and more computer-like, which I really like. And yeah, it makes the vocals yeah, more special. And as you can see, I put on almost every channel the Soundhouse plugins, because they're super nice. They also look very good, but yeah, they're good ways, they're good supporters to make stuff cooler, to make stuff louder, to make stuff dirtier. So you really should check them out. Check Soundhouse plugins, they're super nice. I love them. Next one, Bassline. As always, have a listen on the drop. Yeah, thanks CPU. It's a rolling bass line, and if you can see on the MIDI notes, it's just repeating, and yeah, just repeats, which is one thing for a rolling bass line. They always go back to the same notes. And it's made with Serum, and you can see it's called the Wanted Bass, and this one is also included in the drum kit, so go and check it out. Super simple here. I got one oscillator on, basic shapes, and filter MG Low 24, and I mean there are a lot of knobs or like macros used, but just in the harmonics is on 50% to move the basic shapes a bit more, and just distortion on tube as always, 50%, 79% distortion to not make it too dirty but to give it a little bit crisp, and a filter also to make it more smooth. And bass like this, super easy to make it on your own. Really like it. For the pre-drop, I did cut the lows, as you can see here, and put an overdrive on it to make it more hearable and to make it more crispy, because if you cut the overdrive you almost can hear a bass, and for me it's super important to listen to the bass in the pre-drop, because it makes the people have a certain feeling about what's coming, and the bass is I guess behind the kick the most rhythm giving thing in a track, so people should hear it, in my opinion. Yeah, that's it. And also one thing, kickstart, sidechain, super important, because if you don't put sidechain on your bass you can hear the kick and it's getting very muddy. And one thing you always want to make sure is that the people can listen to your kick and to the bass in the same time, and they both have low frequencies, so you need the sidechain to make space for the kick. Super important. Put sidechain on everything to make more space for the kick, all I can say. And that's almost it. So, and the last one is the lead. Let's see what's going on here. We have one pad, which is a self-made Serum patch and also included in your drum kit. You're gonna download soon, I guess. Some chorus, some reverb on 30%. The chorus wet is on 0%, but as you can see there's a macro on 55%, so the chorus goes on 55% too. 2 waves, MG Low 18, easy envelope, a little bit noise on it. That's it. Download it. It's nice. Then we have a grand piano. It's from the Ableton stock. Reverb, auto filter, some automation on it, and some EQ8 to kill the stupid frequencies. Super easy. I use this one a lot. The last one is Uno G, recorded here in my studio. The same chords, a bit reverb on it. I bounced it so it doesn't need an EQ anymore, just playing the same notes. All together sounds like this. To give it a shiny, bright introduction. Super easy. Yeah, that's basically it. Super simple track, super simple drums, few elements with good levers. Not that hard to make, but I really like it. One last thing, you can download all drums, all files, all Serum patches now. It's included on the drum kit. So move to my Insta, give it a like, download it and have fun. That's it for me today. Much appreciated. See you soon and listen to the new song, Wanted. Thanks. Bye.